Hello, welcome to the Win9x widget setup video. I'm just going to be walking you through quickly how to set up the basic widgets for this overlay. It should be fairly quick, very simple. The one thing you're going to need is the free StreamElements account. That's just because that's where all the widgets are set up, and then you just make a browser source and put that into your stream, and it all runs itself. Quick setup. But let's get into it. So first thing you're going to need to do is go to the StreamElements page. Should look like this, and first thing you're going to want to do is make a new blank overlay. If you aren't there, once you're signed in, you go to My Overlays, and it'll show all your overlays here. You just go over to Create Blank Overlay. Overlay resolution 1080p. If you have a different size, whatever reason, there they are. Start, and you're going to name this overlay. You're going to want to make an overlay for every scene you have. That way you have one browser source for each scene where the widgets end up being. That way you don't have to move things around at any other time, or you don't have issues. So just making one for everyone is important. So this one we're going to start with. You want to first make a name for this widget. I'm going to be setting it up on my intermission screen, but you want to make one for every single scene. So Win9x intermission alerts or widgets. There we go. Just gonna hit save. It saves it for you. Sweet. And now the first widget you're gonna add is in here. So you're gonna add widget. Or you can click on this. It's down here. Stream tools. Your stream's chat. It will show up with this black box. You want to select custom. Custom just makes it transparent. So for the settings, you're gonna want to go and follow these instructions. These will be in the file as well, but here they are for this. And then what you're gonna want to do is position this where your chat ends up. The way I have set up, it is up in the right hand corner. So I'm just gonna put it there. I'm not gonna go through and change all the settings for it. You can just match all the settings here. Position and style, meaning it chooses how wide, how tall it is. And this is the location, so it's telling you top, it's how far from the top and how far from the left, so it can X and Y axis there. Opacity and rotation stay the same. And your text settings, again, and for text settings, follow the image provided in the download. I'm not going to go through it here because it will take too long, but once you're done that, you just hit save and it will save it. Now what you want to make sure that it lines up, copy the overlay URL, go into your stream software. You're going to want to add a new source. This one you'll want at the very top of the list because it's over top of everything. And you just want a browser source. Add source. Add a new source instead. This is going to be called Widgets. Win9x widgets. If you have one for every source, you would obviously change this to like Win9x intermission. Can't type to save my life. Intermission widgets. Add source. Replace this with that link that you had. Change this to 1920. Oops. 1920 by 1080. The reason why we changed this is because the widgets overlay on StreamElements, this is already set to 1920 by 1080, and so you put everything where it goes in the scene already, so that when you go into StreamElements, you just add it as a scene and everything should line up exactly where it is on its own, which is super handy. So back in the settings, you don't need to control the audio. You can I would not shut down the source when it becomes when it's not visible, because it's between scenes. You will still want it visible, and when you switch scenes, you don't want it to shut off. Refresh browser when scene becomes active. Same thing. It will get rid of your chat every time, so you don't want that either. Hit done, and because we've already saved it, we can just go and we can test that. I'm just gonna type into OBS here some jargon, and you'll see it pop up there. And also, if you check on your StreamElements, it show it there. Obviously, it's out of line with that picture, and so that's what you do is you go like this and you just align it up with where yours is. Mine's different on my main scene, but you just go and you just want to line it up. Hit save. It will, when you're testing, it will delete it, but you can just go and type into your Twitch chat It could be on the website or anything. And close enough. You just want to line it up with your Twitch chat graphic there. Pretty simple. So you change your settings and you move it into place and it's good to go. So once you have this, you can just take this and you can just duplicate that and put it on your other scenes. You just want to go up here to this duplicate button, duplicate to other overlays. It'll give you a list of all your overlays. You find any other overlay. Once you make your other scenes, you want to just select those other scenes, hit submit, and it will just duplicate it to those scenes. Now back on the overlay page, you would just go into those other scenes, intermission, be right back, starting soon. Wherever you moved these or wherever you duplicated those widgets to, go in, edit, and just move their position, and it should be good and set up. Now we're gonna do the next widget, which is the next we're gonna do the alerts widget, which is I use Clippy. There's a couple other widget animation characters that you can use, but Clippy is the one that I use because it's most accurate. Inside, you want to go into the text document and grab the link here, copy that, go to your browser, paste it into your chat thing here. It should just instantly redirect you to the StreamElements page, successfully shared overlay, and it should show up as Office Agents Alerts by LX. Alex is a great widget designer, makes tons of designs. If you don't know about his widgets, or don't know you can get more widgets, you can just go to the StreamElements Discord, find their widget share channel, and go and check out their widgets there. Tons and tons of them, tons of different types of widgets. Go support those guys. But now that we're in here, we have our alert box. It's already here, ready to go. If I show you a follower event so you can emulate, you'll see an animation. But that is not the character we want. So you want to go into settings. You'll see that they're all selected. The only one that you will not have an alert for is the purchase alert. There isn't an animation or anything for it. It uses the stock one that StreamElements gives you. You can even shut that off if you want. But you can go in here and it'll show you the settings. You can duplicate the settings. The video should be fine on its own. Just want to come down here to select agent, and that's Bonsai. There's all these different characters, but we're going to be using Clippy. So we're going to do this again, or hit save just in case. Emulate, follower event, and there's Clippy. Good old Clippy. I'd like to change the alert duration to 15 seconds just to make it a little bit, stay on screen a little bit longer so it doesn't fade out too quickly. You can change its animation settings, fade out. I personally use slide out right, if I can find it. Slide out right. Okay, no enter animation. And then using the image in the download to find the position that I use and the width and the height just to make sure it's the right size. Ends up somewhere down here. And for the sound, inside the download folder as well, you will find a folder called sounds, and you can choose whichever one of these you want for your sound. There were all the Windows 95 sounds. Upload sound, click the upload button, put your sounds in here. It will show up in this list or all files, sounds list, and hit submit. Let's do chord. So now you want the volume at 50. It's pretty loud sound effect. Video long control 50 is fine. You probably won't hear a sound because I don't have an audio source for the recording other than my voice, but there will be a sound playing. So every time that this notification happens, that sound will play as well. Simple. So again, you just want to go back in and make sure you select Clippy for all of these. Change their duration to 15 seconds. If you want it shorter, however long you want, and add the sound you want for each alert. And that's it. Once you've done setting that up, you want to go back up to here, select the alert box, duplicate like you did before to other overlays, select all the other overlays that you're using, hit submit, and it will send this widget to those overlays for you. Then you just go back to your overlays, find your widget overlay file here, go in. I didn't move it, but then you would just see it here, and you drag him into place, make sure he's in the right place, and that's it. Remember to hit save, and it will automatically update in StreamElements. You won't have to change anything. He'll show up down here. You just want to make sure he lines up to wherever you set him up, he'll show up. Now onto the last widget, you're going to want to grab this link right here. New browser. This one is called the Simple Clock widget. This is to have a clock in the bottom right. This one's kind of optional for this design, but it's designed to have this widget on the overlay. You just go into it, edit, and then into the settings, you're gonna select your time zone. Mine is -7. If you don't know what your time zone is, just Google your city time zone. It will tell you what it is. Select 24 or 12-hour clock. I do that. It says 12:43. Now for the font that I use, because it's the most accurate and it's built in, you don't have to use a custom font because it doesn't allow you to have a custom font in this one, is called DM Sans. So this is alphabetical. I'm gonna do a quick scroll to the top. A, B, C, D, E, D. DM Sans. DM Sans. There we go. That's pretty accurate. Now for color, it's going to be on a gray background, so you want this to be black. Hit move it to black, hit select. The font shadow is 0. If you want to get the number for the shadow, it's down black, and then you move this transparency slider to 0.06. It will give it a slight shadow, very slight shadow. Not super noticeable, but it is there. It just gives it a little bit of a soft shadow with pixelation kind of look to it. And the size you'll want for this overlay is 14, pretty small. And then you want to move it to the bottom right. The exact settings of it are in the image provided in the downloads folder for this overlay. Just copy the same position, size, and style for that. And there are no animation settings. Then you just hit save. And then just like before, once you go into here, you select custom widget, duplicate, other overlays, move it to the other overlays that you're using, hit submit, and then move it in its position down in the bottom right. If it's not already there, it should be if you've already moved it prior. So every time you save it in here, it will duplicate in the other ones. Then you just go into your other overlays. Make sure they line up, hit save, and they should all update in StreamElements here. There should be one browser source per overlay. That way nothing gets moved around. If you have different Twitch chat locations, you don't need to move them around. They don't get moved around by accident. You just have one browser source for all your widgets. It makes it way easier to manage, and it'll save you a lot of trouble down the line. I guess the only thing to do is test your alerts, make sure that everything's working, and you're all good. Thanks for checking out my Win9x overlay package. I hope you enjoy. If you need to download it, thefrancoisstudio.com. You can find it by searching up Win9x or YogTiger. Thanks for checking out the video, and remember, do different.